Cue it.
Yo, this is the Gold Queen here of professional wrestling. This is Skyla Batista, telling you all that Skyla loves movies, vlogs, and travel. The girl herself, Skyla Moi, is going live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, I am live and in full effect, baby. Love to you all. Catch you there.
That was cool.
Hey everyone, it's Skyla and welcome back to another live, and I am with...
It's the Little Rocker, also known as Dre Dog.
Dre Dog is in the house, so we are finally here. So sorry that we're like...
It's not bad. I was outside enjoying the nice weather.
So we've got, let's see who's up in the chat. We've got oh my God.
I see Brent. I see Mr. Bones. I see Chris. I see Sean 420.
Yeah, so we've got Mr. Bones' list here. Oh, look at that one.
Ooh.
That is a good list.
All of those. Well, I didn't play the first Streets of Rage. I played Streets of Rage 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Brent's going no live. Still waiting. She's waiting for Dre.
He's in here talking about late fees. Damn it if that doesn't bring me back to the video store. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Dre, time is money. Yeah.
I know that.
Hello to you all. Mr. Bones has got a bounce. Yep. Brent's done one. Holy, hang on, let me put it up. Whoa. These are some good lists. I am impressed.
Oh yeah.
We have got gamers in the house. We've got gamers in the house, I'm telling you now. Oh yeah, and he's put WrestleMania 18 as well.
I never got to play that one. At that time, I had the PS2, so I was playing the SmackDown games.
Yeah, Simpsons. Sean 420 saying, hey.
Hey, Sean.
Chris is in the house. Hang on, let me get that off. See, this is the technical difficulty. Meow. Yeah, so, yeah. So, hello, Sean 420.
Miss Pac-Man. I played that in the arcade. Yeah. Ghosts and Goblins. Barry loves that game.
Whoa.
NBA Jam, Road Rash. Those are two of my favorites. MK2, of course. Silent Hill 2. Oh, hell yeah. Resident Evil 4. No, thank you. GTA 5. Oh, hell yes.
Yes. Look at that. Brent won't be on long, he said.
Oh, damn. Hopefully you're getting paid for that.
Yeah. He said he is. Sunburn back. He's been ready for bed, been up since 6 o'clock.
Damn.
In the morning. Damn, I forgot MK Drake was good. Ready to rumble?
I remember those.
Yeah. Hang on, 1-6. Right. Check on the messages. That'll be 2 seconds.
Oh, you're good.
So if I'm a bit wobbly, don't worry. Right, just right, let me get. There we go. Everyone knows that we're live, so yeah. So hopefully somebody else should be popping up soon with the list. But wow, we've had 3 amazing, great lists so far. I'm impressed. So hopefully, I think Bruce Wayne should be coming up soon as well.
I'm just going to run down the honorable mentions on mine right now. But Thousand Arms for the PS1, Star Ocean: The Second Story for PS1, The Simpsons Road Rage and Hit and Run for PS2, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past for Super Nintendo, Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic on the Xbox, Far Cry 5 on the PS4, and The Outer Worlds on the PS4. And Chris, since we were all talking gaming last week, I decided to go with top 10 games this week.
Yeah. Which I thought that would be amazing. I don't know what's up. There's some just you go rolling with your list, Dre, and I'm just gonna sort out something. Think something's in the way. I don't know what for. Give me a second.
All right, let me see which one I should start off with first. Well, I think for number 10, I'm going to start with probably the oldest game on my list. We are going back to, I believe the year was 1989 when this game was released on the Nintendo, and I'm talking about Paperboy. This was one of the first games on the NES that I can actually remember beating 100%, and I just had so much fun with it. It's one of those I can still go back to. If we had a Nintendo, I'd probably be playing that game.
Oh,
but yeah, Paperboy is my number 10.
What the heck's going on with me? Because I like to have it on with the computer as well. Give me a second.
Should be one over there.
It's not a technical difficulty on the phone, it's the technical difficulty on the telly because I like to see.
Oh, you're good.
To the internet? Yes, I am. I don't know what's going on. That's crazy. Hey, Sarah's in the house.
Hello?
Hello, Sarah. Yeah. I really don't know what's up with my internet tonight. Brent's redone his list. Oh, you'll probably get put to it in a bit. So I'm just going to sort one thing out. Yeah, we're giving away movies. If you like gaming, to the top list your top 10 favorite video games. I'm not organised today. Oh, Chris has done it.
Okay, let's get this expedition underway.
Buffy Chaos Blades, of course. Xena game, of course. Chris, you should have just lumped the Buffy games in one.
There's any Buffy games in the Buffy series.
Because there's 2 games in that series. And the Simpsons game, the one from 07? Or the Hit and Run or Road Rage? Which one?
Yep. Yeah, we all said it's top 10 favorite video games. Oh, Pitfall on Atari was my first favorite. Harry Potter.
Pitfall was a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Right, I'm just gonna.
Oh, okay. I thought he meant the 2007 one, which I never got to play.
Yeah.
I've heard that's one of like the best licensed games out there.
Right, I'm just gonna switch on and off for my internet, and then hopefully put my internet back on. Cause stupid, but here I've done my list, but I like to say what year they come out. So I'm crazy.
I think the one's on the other side of you. Yeah. Okay. Just had to make sure I could hear better. Sonic the Hedgehog. That's a good game. There was a Batman vs Superman game? I never knew that.
Whoa, these look similar. Oh no, Brent, don't be upset. You're around amazing people. Oh, that's good. Call of Duty. Oh.
Barry loves those.
Yeah.
The older versions.
I can't even get the year.
Lost touch.
Well, like I said, don't be afraid to speak up.
Yeah. Barry can do his lips. Because I'm not ready yet.
Yeah, what you got? Yeah.
You can come over if you want.
Yeah, come over here.
He's welcome. Come on, Mr. Gamer.
He's coming.
We want it.
He's just getting himself a hat like me.
Yeah. Because it'll give me time for the internet to boot up on my end. There he is. The cool dude himself. So we've got a special guest in Barry.
Let's see. Starting from 10, the Resident Evil series. Then there's the Monster Hunter World.
Ooh.
The Persona series. Then there's Zelda series. Contra series. Let's see. That's 5 already? 5?
Yep.
The Alien series. Let's see. So many of them.
Castlevania.
Yep, the Castlevania ones. 7?
Yep, we're at 7.
I've got so many.
Doom.
Yeah. Oh. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, the Doom series.
Mass Effect.
Yeah, definitely the Mass Effect ones. That's what, 9?
9.
And the last one, actually, instead of the Mass Effect series, I think we'll go with Guardian Legend.
You might have to explain a little bit what that one is.
The Guardian Legend?
Yeah.
NES. Don't know what year, but it's an NES game. It's a top-down, kind of like a mix between a shooter like 1942 as well as Zelda. A little hard to explain. But it's a good one. It's a hidden gem. There's not really anybody talks about it. Then the last one, the Crystallis, which is a Zelda, somewhat of an RPG Zelda clone.
What's going on? Ah, we're back. It's saying
I was about to say, you froze up while Barry was giving his list.
But out of all of them, the ones basically Monster Hunter World being the most favorite with the expansion Iceborne. Out of all the Dooms, it had to be the 2016 one. Definitely Resident Evil 2, both the original and the remake.
Nice.
Then The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past for the SNES being my most favorite.
Breath of Fire.
Oh yeah, that's part of that.
Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, there's a lot of RPGs. But out of me, Breath of Fire is a good one, but I'm gonna have to go to Final Fantasy IV.
Oh.
For the SNES.
It's a good one.
Even I put that above Chrono Trigger. Then for the Aliens games, it's a tie between Alien Trilogy and Aliens Infestation, which is for the Game Boy, the DS, Nintendo DS.
I thought Isolation.
Isolation's I love Isolation. That's just saying
friggin'
that creative
Xenomorph is a troll.
Yeah, that Xenomorph, the Creative Assembly made a AI that pretty much unshackled, does whatever it wants. Pops into an event and pops right back down on you. But definitely, I had to go with that. I have to say, Aliens Infestation, which was done by Way Forward, which is they're known for their 2D shooter scrollers, 2D platformers. Let's see what else. That's 6 so far for individuals.
Yeah.
Gonna have to go with Diablo 2.
Oh yeah, you played that.
My internet.
What? Oh yeah, you're good.
My internet.
Diablo 2, the original and the remaster. So all I did is get an uplift and everything else. When I played a remaster, it was all in there.
Yeah.
They didn't cut anything out.
What about that Inuyasha game we've been trying to find?
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, Inuyasha, the Cursed Mask. That's a underrated gem. And then that's 8.
Yeah, that's 8.
Out of the Contra series, I'd have to go with. Granted, I know everyone likes the originals, but I like Shattered Soldier because it's difficult, and I have yet to get 100% completion.
Yeah.
Parasite Eve 2.
Yep. And the last one for me would have to be Parasite Eve 2. I love both Parasite Eves, but Parasite Eve 2 is definitely my domain.
Yeah, nice. I've only got 1 year so far from me list, so I'm gonna have to see if I can get another phone so I can get the rest. So my number 10, this week is House of the Dead from 1996.
Oh, I remember those. I definitely remember that one.
Yeah.
Played that in the arcade. That was fun.
I love that game. Oh wow. So, Dre, you get your number 9, and then I'll go and get the other phone.
Alrighty. My number 9, we are going to go with probably one of my favorite RPGs, and that is Parasite Eve. The first one, since Barry mentioned part 2, him and I, we differ on those. But I think the first Parasite Eve was a great mix of Resident Evil style survival horror and Final Fantasy turn-based RPG. And the creature transformations, if you're into movies like The Thing, These creature transformations in this game are pretty top notch. But yeah, my number 9, Parasite Eve. And if you want to go into a little bit of why you like 2.
Yeah, the reason why I like 2 is a little bit combat oriented, but it still had that same, but they changed up a few other things. It made it a little bit more difficult. There was more tanky than there's tank controls like Resident Evil, which I was familiar with. He has a little difficulty at one point of the mission as he gets getting knocked over the edge.
Yeah, it made me rage quit.
Yeah, so it's basically the start. If I remember correctly, it's the start of the disc 2 is when that is that mission.
No, it's right at the end of disc 1.
Oh yeah, it's been a while since I played, so that's the reason why.
Because I never went back to it after that.
But the good thing is about Parasite 2 is if you keep playing through it over and over, you eventually unlock stuff. One of them being a railgun, if I remember correctly.
Like, to be honest, I'd rather deal with the 100-something floors of the Chrysler Tower in the first one.
I've tried that, and it is not easy. You get to literally play through over and over again just to get everything buffed up, just so you can go through all.
Right, my number 9 is the Addams Family video game from 1992.
Fester's Quest?
No, the Super Nintendo one.
Which one?
The one, the movie-based one.
Yeah, I played on.
I think Thunderbirds covered it.
I was thinking more of Pugsley's scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
So
that's on there as well. Like that's on there, like the search engine.
I forgot to mention one of my childhood ones.
If you want to keep interjecting, go right ahead.
Yeah.
I'd have to say one of the ones that I love the most out of my childhood was a movie. It was basically a movie game. Ghostbusters, a video game that came out for the 360 and PS3. It was pretty much a third movie.
And they remastered it.
And yeah, they did remaster it. Oh,
as Chris has played it.
I played it when it was on the 360. I made a person rage quit because I was kept stealing the ghosts away from him and slamming into my own trap. But great storyline because the two greats who basically wrote that was Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis when he was still kicking.
Yeah. So, Dre, what's your number 8?
My number 8, I'm gonna go with a beat 'em up classic from, I believe, 91. It was on the Super Nintendo. It's Final Fight 2.
Oh, cool.
It's probably it's one of them, like I think Brent mentioned it or Sean, they mentioned Streets of Rage. Final Fight is basically, I will say, what inspired Streets of Rage. But to me, Final Fight 2 was just way better than the first one, and it was just a lot more fun. And plus, with every friggin' fighting collection and arcade collection and all that Capcom has done, they've never put Final Fight 2 on any of them.
Yeah.
So you can obviously say it's an underrated hidden gem.
Yep.
It's like you always hear talk about the first Final Fight.
Mm-hmm.
Never about Final Fight 2.
Or the third one. They hear that it's either the first one or the third one. I'm torn between two beat 'em ups.
Yeah, it was either going to be Final Fight 2 or Streets of Rage 2 because I love them both.
Yeah. So my number 8 is actually Final Fantasy VII from 97.
Oh! Now you're talking my language.
Yeah.
But again, I like Final Fantasy 4. Doesn't get talked about enough. It's like
It
the
doesn't.
black sheep.
No, 5 is the real black sheep.
It's right up there with it, though.
I love that game.
Perfect combat system and everything.
Right over there, hon, is our copy. The greatest hits one, FF7.
And what pile?
Right over there by that stack right there.
Oh, snakes.
I see.
Hold
Hold on a second. I'll go ahead and get it. I know where it's at. Look at this damn motherfucker. That's it. Ah.
Brent's back.
Skyla, I've had this same copy since I was 15 years old.
That's the same copy that I love. The one from
That's the same one I've had since I was 15.
Oh,
yeah.
Actually, I've had this since Chris and I first met.
That's
funny. Awesome.
Oh, I found a little treat up at the gaming store that we have in town. It's actually that same copy, but except it's a black label.
Oh, nice.
And I believe it was for like $10 or $20.
And them black label ones,
rare.
Yeah, they're rare. They go for some serious money. I'd get that one just to collect it. I'd still play my green labeled one because those are still in excellent shape after 20 years.
And the copy that I had the same copy, but for the there was a 2-disc set. There was a disc basically where it had Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy 4 on it, but it wasn't the American version. It was all in English, but it wasn't American version. When it comes to difficulty, it was actually Japanese.
I know the one you're talking about.
It was the one I had before we lost it.
Because at one time I had the other one like it that had FF5 and FF6.
Yeah, because it was completely different. It was a little bit more difficult because it's been insane. But I still beat them both.
That's
Took a little bit
okay.
more doing, but I did beat them both.
Yeah. So, your number 7, Dre?
My number 7. Let's see here. Going down the list, I'm going to go with Duke Nukem 3D. Probably one of my favorite first-person shooters.
Mm-hmm.
I love everything about that game.
His one-liner's the best. His one-liners are always the best.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Mr. Bones mentioned Gex. I had Gex 1 and 2 for the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Those games were awesome.
Oh.
They don't get talked about a lot.
Everyone's talking about amazing games here. I know. So, yeah. My number 7 is Streets of Rage from 91.
Ooh.
I know a couple of people have had Streets of Rage. I just loved. You'll notice
I like the second one.
Quite a few of mine are from the Genesis Mega Drive. So that's what you'll notice mine are from.
As you can tell, mine are kind of all over.
Yeah.
That does open up a whole
So is mine. I'll just say Dre, I'm going to say something to you. I've got stuff between 91 and 2011. I'm all over the place.
Mine too.
Yep. So 6.
My number 6 is Tekken 3. Probably one of my favorite fighting games from, I believe, 1999.
Ooh.
Still probably my favorite Tekken game because of everything it had that you could do. The only one for me that came close was Tekken Tag Tournament.
Yeah.
For
That's the one
the
I'm thinking of, but I like one better, so that's I do like Tekken Tag Tournament, so yeah. So my number 6 actually comes from 1994. It's actually Mega Bomberman.
Ooh. No, that's a Super Bomberman.
Yeah. Yeah, look who's in the house. Hello, gorgeous.
Oh, hello.
You just eat. I ate some chicken before, so yeah, come back. We want to hear your list. So yeah. So
Okay. Since you brought up with the Mega Drive, which is a Genesis here, correct?
Yes.
yeah.
That has opened up a few new games. There's it was an arcade. It was an arcade for Capcom. Capcom did it. It was called
Yeah.
Mercs. It was a top-down shooter.
Yeah.
And it was on the arcade. It was up to 3 players, but for the Genesis, it was only 2-player.
Yeah. So, because we had like the Dreamcast, the Game Gear, but we had one called the Master System. Have you heard of that?
That's like
Yes. That was the same that we had that over here too.
Yeah, it was the same system called.
Because it was also called the Master System over here.
Yeah. So at that time, this is a question that Barry could answer as well. From the Sega range around that time, what was your favourite? What was the favourite system that they had out at that time? Out of like the Game Gear, the Master System, and the Mega Drive / Genesis.
If I had to pick myself, I gotta go with the Genesis.
What about you, Barry?
It had to be again the Genesis. Dreamcast is a close tie, but it had to be a Genesis.
That too. I also like the Saturn.
Yeah, the Saturn, Sega Saturn. You remember that as well. 3 for 3.
Let's see.
Well, my cousin had a Saturn when I was younger.
Yeah. I just like the fact that because it was a cartridge, and then if you had dust, you could blow the dust out and then put it back in again.
Mm-hmm.
That was what was good, right? Mr.
Oh, yeah.
Got it off.
Because I was mainly a Nintendo kid up until probably like 97, 98. That's when I got the PlayStation.
Yeah. Because we were like, Atari, well, Mega Drive, the Master System, Dreamcast, Genesis, you name it. And then we went Sticking on PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and then I went on to Xbox.
Let's see. I forgot to bring these up too.
Just give me a second.
The real-time strategies or RTSs as they're known. There's quite a few of them that I like, and one of them being Warcraft 2: Tides of Darkness. Another one, the Command and Conquer, basically Red Alert or Tiberian Sun. StarCraft 2, Wings of Liberty.
Yeah.
Oh man, and also another one that was for the PlayStation that I played was the Front Mission 3. Yeah. It was basically RTS RPG, squad-based tactics.
Yeah.
And that started on the Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome, man. Right, I'm just gonna give the phone back to the owner because I needed it for the years, and then I'll be back down, and then we can carry on. So
okay.
Having a minute break. A minute break.
All right.
Let's see.
I say people like hearing you talk.
I know. Let's see. Another one that had to be like the one that basically people are starting to take notice of or whatever.
Brent asked about have you played that Ogre Battle?
No, I have not actually. That's the one. No, I haven't played that one. I've seen it in stores, but never played it.
Me either.
Let's see. May the 4th be with you.
Oh, we got to be careful with that. Disney and their stupid ass.
Yep. Oh, you know, and instead of that, no, man, a farce.
No. What did they say in Spaceballs?
Oh.
And then Made a Schwartz be with you?
Yep. May the Schwartz be with you.
Yes, indeed.
I love Spaceballs.
That is a very, very underrated movie.
It is very underrated. I like near towards the end when they're at the gas stop station. The only person that's the original of that cast for Alien is John Hurt, reprising his role as Kane. Oh no, not again! I love that.
Yeah, there's a question for Barry.
Hmm?
What do you think of the movies I've sent for André so far?
And very interesting.
Well, he picked them.
I know. Interesting, but very, very interesting. Can't say much, but other than interesting.
Yeah.
There's
Right,
also the. Oh, sorry.
Go on, carry on.
For beat 'em ups, the nerd talked about it once. The Battletoads.
Oh.
If you want friendly fire, that's the one to go with. But there's one that's for the Super Nintendo that I like the most, and it was Battletoads Double Dragon Ultimate Team.
Oh, Double
Yeah,
Dragon.
Friendship Breaker.
That they are. If you choose, but they gave you an option: player A or player B.
Oh, depending on who I was playing with, I was a dick.
Yep, 2-player A or 2-player B for that one. Yeah, if I remember correctly, go 2-player B. I think it was the non-friendly fire.
Yeah.
It's been a while, so I don't remember. I don't quite recall which one's which. But I know one was friendly fire.
Since I've played this one, Golden Axe. It's not on my list, but we can talk about it.
Oh, I have played the Golden Axe series.
Me too.
Played Golden Axe. Played the third one.
Oh, I love Golden Axe. Love it.
While we're on that one, King of Dragons by Capcom.
Oh, Skyla, if you ever get your hands on like a PS4 or a PS5 or even an Xbox One or the Series X or S, there's a game called the Sega Genesis Collection. It's got like 50 something, close to like 50, 60 games from the Mega Drive.
For like what, 20, 30
Yeah,
bucks?
it was like $20 something, maybe 30.
Is it on the Xbox 360?
I don't know.
Nah, maybe. I don't know. You have to look. I'll have to look.
You'd have to look. I don't know for sure.
I know it's on the Series S and X, and as well as One and PS4 and PS5.
Well, that could be a game I can get a certain somebody for a birthday present, so I could just play it. Yeah.
Another one that gets talked about among reviewers is The Legend of Dragoon.
Oh, yeah. That was a great one.
Yep, haven't beaten it yet, but it is actually fun and very interesting.
Yeah.
Combat system's completely unique from everything else. Oh, somebody mentioned a Type Bike.
That was one of my favorites.
Then Guilty Gear, I played those.
Yeah.
I
played Super Metroid.
I played that one too. That was the only one I played.
I've seen people play the Metroid Prime for GameCube.
Are you sure on 420 still plays Excite Bike?
That's a classic.
2 Call of Duty games. Like how the ones we played or the ones that we know we've played? Or our favorites?
You've played more of them than me.
Dying Light. No, I've seen people play it, but
Isn't that the one your sister likes?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, so you come from a gaming family then, Barry?
Yeah, I've been playing games since I was in pretty much 5 or 6, and my first gaming console I actually played on was an Atari 2600.
Same. That was my first ever console.
Pitfall was my favorite one.
Yeah. Oh, I loved the Centipede.
Kirby games? Oh, Lord in heaven.
I played the first one on Game Boy, Kirby's Dream Land.
I played the one for the NES, Kirby's
Adventure. I got to the last stage of Kirby's Dream Land. I could never beat it. I could never beat that final boss.
Yeah, hang on.
Well, there's a question for
Favorite
you.
arcade game?
Favorite arcade game? Ooh, that's a tough one.
There's so many arcade games that I've seen and played.
If I had to pick just one off the top of my head, it's The Simpsons arcade beat 'em up.
Yeah. Mine's Total Driven.
Nintendo DS games.
Have you heard that one? We had it as an arcade game here in the UK. It's called the driving game. Total Driven. Have you heard of that one?
Which one?
Total Driven. Or Total Driving.
I think I have, but I think for us it was called either hard driving or race driving.
I think it was hard driving. You got hard driving.
Yes, because we had that in the arcade. Yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Because we had the one, it had the whole thing where you sat in at the steering wheel. You even had to work the clutch for the gear shift.
Yeah.
For my arcade game, it's a tough one. I'm torn between TMNT or there's a helicopter game that I remembered. I can't quite remember what its name is, but it's there. Then the favorite classic games from.
I'll say one that basically for me, NBA Jam when I was a kid at the roller rink was my hustle. Yeah. I basically used to bet people at the time it was like 50 cents a game.
Yeah.
And basically I put down 50 cents. The person playing against me put down 50 cents. Winner gets both.
Yeah.
Person wants to try again. It's usually double or nothing.
Yeah.
Problem was most people couldn't beat me, so I was taking their money.
Yeah.
I got too good at that game because I had it at home for Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
For a classic game for me.
Favorite classic games. Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, Sean 420.
Paperboy, Arkanoid, Bubble Bobble, Super Mario 1 and 3. Let's see. Galaga, Centipede.
One down at the bottom for you too.
Favorite team on NBA Jam? The Pistons. No, not the Pistons. The Bulls. The Bulls. Jordan and Pippen. Who friggin' else?
Yeah. So my favorite classic games are like Centipede, Pong, Addams Family, obviously Sonic the Hedgehog, Mega Bomberman, good old classic Tetris.
I gotta go with Castlevania.
Yeah, Castlevania.
I love those.
Yeah.
Even though they're hard as hell.
A few of my classic games would have to be Mega Man 2, Mega Man X, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, which is the second one to the Super Nintendo from the first one.
Pole position.
I just think the critic right now. Thank you very much.
That's what I was thinking too. The nostalgia critic.
Yeah, this is nostalgia now. Pole position is right. Someone's bringing on the classic racing game.
The only time I've seen Ice Climbers, I haven't really played the actual game. I played them when I've seen them on Super Smash Brothers, Melee, and on.
Yeah.
I like Brawl because Solid Snake was kind of a little bit cheap. His ultimate was his smash move pretty much took up half the screen. You just lugged grenades at people, and he was good for trolling too. As you place some mine right at the edge where someone's trying to get up, and you just get knocked away.
Oh, hold the phone! I was just about to say, Chris mentioned the Nightmare on Elm Street game. Oh my god!
Yeah, the nerd also reviewed that too.
That game was so fucking hard. I don't even think I got through the first level. Did anyone play the Friday the 13th game?
I have.
For Nintendo?
I did.
Yeah. I've got a quick question before we carry on.
I can agree with the nerd on that one. The Rock was pretty much useless. You had to get the knife.
Yeah.
Then you're supposed to find Jason's shack at some point. You end up fighting his mother's floating head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've just got something I want to say, and I bet you recognise it. Up, down, left, right, ABC, start.
Chris says he beat the Nightmare game.
Do you know what that means? Up, down, left, right, ABC, start.
No, we had a different one.
No, that's a cheat.
If you're talking about the Konami code, that's for the NES. For the NES, it was up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start or select start.
Select start.
No.
If you go two-player.
Up, down, left, right, ABC, start is the code for Sonic the Hedgehog. You can pick any level you want.
Oh!
I forgot about that code. It's been so long. I never even used it.
Me either. I didn't even know about it.
I think I knew about it. I just never used it. I didn't feel like it. But the one thing about the Konami code that I noticed is that the game always gets, if you use a Konami code in Contra, it actually makes the game harder.
Ooh, favorite game that had to do with the movie.
GoldenEye. There we go. Then 64.
Let me think.
Especially if you're playing on multiplayer. Everyone ran for the golden gun. And if you had the golden gun, you camped it. You didn't let anybody else have it, because if they grabbed it, yeah, it was hard to get it back.
I thought the fourth Harry Potter game, The Goblet of Fire, was really good. And then there was a Fast and Furious game for PS2 around 05, 06 that was really good. One of my favorite ones that I'm playing through right now, well, actually two of them. Scarface, The World Is Yours, and The Godfather on PS2.
Oh, good.
Yeah. GCC, yes, I remember that because I used it for Game Shark codes.
Let's see, my favorite games that had to do with movie. Well, there's actually only 3.
I know one of them's The Thing.
Yeah, The Thing for PS2. It continued right after the first movie ended. Then there's obviously Alien Isolation, which takes place 15 years after the first movie, and then I would have to go with AVP 2, which actually wasn't a movie, but became a movie. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll have to go, instead of that, I'll just go with Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Mine's like the sort of the same thing with Street Fighter. Yeah.
Street Fighter was always good.
It was a game first, and then it became a movie.
Yep. Sadly, the movie didn't do too hot, but
it made its money back. I know that.
Yeah, I know that much. It did make its money back. It just didn't.
It's more a G.I. Joe movie to me.
Yeah, it looks more like G.I. Joe than. But the only good thing about it was basically they only had one person. Well, they probably could have gotten somebody else to play God that could have pulled off that flash kick, but I don't think anyone could have. Other than
I like Chun-Li.
Yeah.
The one they got for her did great.
And M. Bison, yes, the guy who was Gomez in the movies,
in the Addams Family movies. He's Bison in the Street Fighter movie.
Yeah, he's M. Bison. He played it.
Yeah. He was in Romero as well. He played the lead actor to Romero.
He's also in Eyes of Laura Mars.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
I forgot
and he's also in the Spider-Woman as well.
Yeah, Kiss of the Spider-Woman. That's one I haven't seen yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen to Bruce Wayne's.
Oh, wow.
We got Bruce Wayne in the house.
Oh, wow. So they switched it around. Because the object of it in the actual game was you're one of the kids and you're supposed to find all Freddy's bones and bury them. Or burn them or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I said, I never even got through the first level of it.
But for one of the classic ones, I'd have to go with Mario Brothers 2 being one of them. He doesn't like it because
I don't mind it.
no, because of the one certain enemy.
That's in 3.
Yeah.
Oh, that's in 2. The mask that floats around and chases you when you grab the key.
Oh, yeah, I hate that thing.
And I kind of ruined that for him with the Giggle cookies. Because I made it remind him of it.
Yeah. So Back to the Future game on PS4, your thoughts if you played it?
Telltale did that. I haven't played it.
Yeah, I was gonna say Telltale's done quite a few games that were actually good.
Brent mentioned the Beavis and Butthead game. I had that for Super Nintendo. And it was the same thing. But yes, that game was hard as hell.
What about The Mask for the Super Nintendo?
I never played it.
I've played it. I think I got to like the 4th or 5th boss, and I couldn't get past it.
Look at Sean 420's comment. G-War.
Guar. As a band Beavis and Butthead liked in the game for the Genesis and Super Nintendo, that was the object of it. Anderson's dog they got tickets to see Guar. Anderson's dog ate the tickets, then puked them up. Anderson runs over him with his lawnmower, and so the object is you have to go around the town collecting the pieces of the tickets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, there's other ones I forgot. They're on the PC though. The King's Quest games.
Oh yeah.
The King's Quest games, which were point and click adventures, but they also had puzzles. But my favorite one was actually King's Quest 6, aired today, gone tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, me too, Brent. That Beavis and Butthead game had me throwing my controller.
Yep. So do you want to carry on with our list then? Because we're only halfway through our list. Number 5.
Yeah, let's keep going. So my number 5 is Tony Hawk's Underground 2 for the PS2. Probably my favorite of the Tony Hawk series, next to the first, not the first one, but Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. I love the open world aspect of this one. The Team Tony versus Team Bam storyline I always thought was funny.
Yeah. So my 5 is Tekken from '94. So you were with Tekken 3 and I've gone with the original Tekken.
The first one I played was Tekken 2.
Yeah. But before we carry on, whoever heard of the game California Games on the Master System?
We had it for Nintendo.
What one?
Yeah.
California Games.
Oh.
Where you do the beanbag and it goes destroyed. It was hilarious. The little beanbag. Up and down, up and down. Yeah. A lot of people were someone's talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes, there was an Atari Texas Chainsaw Massacre game where you were playing as Leatherface.
There was also a Halloween one too.
Yep, there was a Halloween one, which it's believed to have the first decapitation in a video game.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
If anybody hasn't already, go and watch Sarah's YouTube channel. Go and subscribe to her.
There's someone mentioned anybody play Leisure Suit Larry.
I played the one for PS2 and Xbox. I really liked that one. I think it was called Leisure Suit Larry Magna Cum Laude.
Yeah, we're in the middle of doing it, my love. So do it now. We want your list. Put your list down. Get your list. So yeah, was that your number 4, Jay?
Yes, that was my number 4. Or no, that was my number 5.
Oh, your number 5. I said my number 5, which was Tekken, so it's your number 4.
Yeah, my number 4 is the Mass Effect trilogy. I love just basically the story and how open-ended it is. The fact that basically every choice you make affects how those games are going to turn out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, guess what my number 4 is? I just mentioned it before about the cheat codes. Sonic the Hedgehog from 91.
Nice.
Good old up, down, left, right, ABC start. Boom. Oh, classic. I love Sonic.
Chris mentioned Bart versus the Space Mutants. That game was so hard.
Worst game played.
Oh, worst game played. The Last of Us 2.
Ooh.
Even over everything that I would consider to be a bad game that I played. I mean, I played the new Fast and Furious game, which was maybe only like 5-6 hours in total, but I had more fun with that than I did with The Last of Us 2.
Yeah. Oh,
And then just the way that to this day, the PlayStation ponies will just, they'll blow that game like nobody's business. The first one was great, but the second one,
Yeah. Well, you're going to hate me now, but the game I hated was Crash Bandicoot.
I like Crash.
I hated it.
My favorite was Crash 3.
The original, I didn't like the original, but the other ones after that got better.
Yeah, I didn't care for the first one. I got into them with 2.
Yeah. So, your 3, Dre?
Yeah, my number 3 is Resident Evil 2.
Nice. Well, my number 3 actually has a character in it called Freddy Krueger.
Well, we got a couple of them with Freddy in it now.
I'm on about a beat 'em up game called Mortal Kombat from 2011.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Nice.
And it's got Freddy Krueger in it.
Yup.
That's the one. Love that one. And I love playing Freddy sometimes when he's just slicing and dicing you all. Yeah. We're nearly there. We're nearly there.
Nah, Brett mentioned Hogwarts Legacy. I'm playing through that right now.
Mortal Kombat 9, no Mortal Kombat from 2011. That's what I just got, Mortal Kombat from 2011.
Yeah, I know the one.
Yeah. So yeah, your number 2, Jay?
My number 2 is Final Fantasy 7.
Oh, so your number 2 is my number 8.
Yup.
Yeah.
It would have been my number 1, but there's one that I go back to more than that.
Yeah. Same. Well, my number 2 is from 2007, and I used to play this a lot. Soul Calibur Legends.
Nice.
Yeah. I love that game. And I can complete it in like less than like a couple of hours, so it makes me happy. But I like playing it over and over and over again. So, top of the shop, Dre.
Oh wait, I think Barry's got something.
Yeah, there's another game that doesn't get talked about pretty much at all that I know of. That I have yet to see anyone cover.
Oh, it is.
And it's before Westwood was bought out by EA, and the game is actually called Nox.
Oh.
It's a Diablo clone.
Mm.
It's a Diablo clone. It's a little comedy in some ways, but it's fun. It's an RPG. It has a good storyline. It was basically the first time that I think that Westwood actually did a Diablo type game.
What about that other one you were telling me about?
Which one?
The one with Lance Henriksen in it. Run Like Hell, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, Run Like Hell. That one's got some reviews, but not. It's still what you would call a. It's like it's a third person shooter where you play. It's like a.
Avalanche called it a Resident Evil clone.
Yeah, it basically would be a Resident Evil clone in space before Dead Space was even come out. It was on the original 360, not the 360, but the original Xbox, if I remember correctly. Yes, and it was only released on Xbox and PS2.
And PS2.
Yeah, not only Lance Henriksen, who was Bishop.
About it just before Bruce Wayne said that.
They should.
Yeah. They should do like just a horror one with like.
I don't think they ever will though, because of the fact of the licensing issues. Different companies own different villains. Like, for example, Freddy and Jason are both under New Line, which is owned by Warner Brothers. Leatherface, I believe Lionsgate has the rights to right now. Pinhead, I believe
New Line still. I believe.
No, I think it's Fox because the new one was on Hulu.
If it's on Fox, then I guess you know who now owns it now.
Same with Alien.
Yep, Alien with Alien and both the Xenomorph, as it's referred to as mainly, and Pinhead are under Disney now, since they used to be owned by Fox.
Yeah.
Then, but not only that, with Run Like Hell has a couple of songs by Breaking Benjamin on the soundtrack. One of them being Home, and another one with now.
Wasn't it polyamorous?
I believe so. Yes, but there's voice actors in Run Like Hell that are basically it's Lance Henriksen. If you know him as basically he was in Terminator. He was one of the officers. He was also in Pumpkinhead. He was also in basically everyone sees him as his Bishop from the Alien series. Then also Millennium, if you've seen the show. He's been in a lot of stuff, as well as recently The Quarry. But he's the main character that he voices. There's Clancy Brown, who was Sergeant Zim in Starship Troopers. Michael Ironside, who was Sam in Splinter Cell. He's also Jester in Top Gun, as well as Richter in Total Recall. There's a few others, too, that I can't quite name off the top of my head. But those are the three main ones that I remember.
Chris said, remember when I would rent games from Family Video and go to your house and we'd play them? Yes, Chris used to do that all the time. He'd go to the video store here in town, rent a bunch of games, and come to my house and play them.
Look at that. Someone's mentioned to me a game you don't like.
Which one? What is it? Where?
I like Last of Us 1. I like Last of Us 1. I don't like Last of Us 2.
Oh, it's the second one?
Yes, I don't like the second one. I love the first one.
Huh.
And then
Brantamania's 89 basically. It's Disney saw
rumor they want to sell some Fox properties. They ended up paying too much for Fox. Well, duh, they paid over $1 billion.
And got IPs.
And they're sitting on I don't know how many properties they can't use because Disney has this stupid rule that they won't release anything with an R rating.
Yeah.
Which now apparently they're going back on because Deadpool 3 is going to be rated R from what I was hearing.
Yeah. Well,
can't have another Predator movie either.
Luis's Last of Us
game. They fucked up with the last one.
Yep. Sure, you blame Shane
Black. There's Luis's Last of Us games on his list. And then
Fight Night Champions was good.
Luis put I love Decision Choice games.
Like them Telltale, Walking Dead, Detroit Become Human.
Yeah.
I like those kind too.
There's other ones too, not just those. They're older, but they basically have like a split second choices. One of them being it's in a point and click adventure game done by Sierra, the same people who did the King's Quest. Was a game called Gabriel Knight, and you had basically had to because there's some situations in the game where if you don't react enough, you either die or something bad happens. Basically, something bad happens, like your character dies or something part of the storyline. It goes, you get a bad end or a good end.
Brent, I have Horizon Forbidden West, but I haven't played it yet because you have to beat Zero Dawn before even starting Forbidden West. They take place one right after the other.
Yeah. So, Blue Screen put André, check out the Teledrome. Man.
I will look at that.
Night Trap, someone mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sean 420.
That was very controversial when it came out.
Oh, yeah. Between that and Mortal Kombat, that's what started the ratings board.
Yep.
Yeah. So are you ready to reveal what our favorite games are?
Thank you.
Yes.
Come on, Dre. Let's do this.
Trail when I was in school.
My number one, originally released in 2013, but has been ported to pretty much every system since, Grand Theft Auto 5. This is the game that I can pretty much go back to anytime and just have fun with it, whether I'm playing through the story or just going in and doing just random shit, going in, shooting people, robbing stores, doing whatever.
Yeah.
That's one of the games that Rockstar is pretty much beaten into the ground. I don't think there's a horse left.
Yeah.
It's basically what I call my comfort food game. The one, if I'm having a bad day, I'll put that on and play it, and I just feel 100% better.
Simulator games, I got quite a few actually. Ace Combat, there's Ace Combat series being one of them. There's one that I'm playing through that I played a long time ago on the PC called Star Siege. That's a simulator mech game, which had a voice done by Mark Hamill. Yes, the Luke Skywalker. He plays one of the main characters in Star Siege.
And he played the voice of Chucky as well at one time.
Another one, I think you'd call it a simulator, somewhat Battlezone.
Oh, Brent, Vice City was my second favorite. I was torn between that one and 5 because I love the 80s soundtrack that Vice City had. That's still, actually, those are only the two Grand Theft Auto games that I've actually beaten are Vice City and 5.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when I played Star Siege, though, when I beat the entire game, both the Cybrid story as well as the human story, I go into multiplayer and I do CTF. Everyone had a designated role. If you were a runner, you had nothing on your mech. You basically had turbo and that was it. You were basically going in, take the lightest mech, or Herc as they're called in that game. Take it, and you run from one side to the other with the flag, trying to turn it in. But sometimes, but then you were basically had a sitter, who would basically be in the biggest tank that they can be in, and just sit on top of the flag. And sometimes those little light mechs, when they hit that tank, one of the tanks called the Myrmidon, which is the biggest one there, if you hit it just right, if they hit you just right, they just die. Right in front of you.
Right. So are you ready for my number one?
Yes.
You will never ever expect this to be my number one. A game from 2009. It's actually Velvet Assassin.
Never heard of it.
You've never heard of it?
Played it.
No.
I may have heard of it, but I've never really picked it up and looked at it. I have seen it in stores. I don't think I have never picked it up, though.
It is so good. Now, no one would expect me to have a number 1 like that. You probably would have me.
Unless maybe we got it by another name.
It could be.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah. It's got a lady on the front of it.
Okay, hold on. You said it's called Velvet Assassin?
Velvet Assassin.
Okay.
No, I have seen that. I have seen that in stores. That's the exact same title we got here.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
I've seen it in stores, but I never picked it up or looked at it.
Windows and 360.
Yeah, that's all I did see it in a game store. I just looked at it, I was like, then just moved on. Yeah, it's a stealth video game, so no, it would not be for you.
No.
He's not good at stealth games.
I hate it.
Unless he's playing Metal Gear. That's the only one I pretty much seen him play.
Yeah.
Well, Dishonored I'm liking, but that's because it lets you go fucking crazy.
If it's an automatic stealth mission, he can't play it because he can't do anything.
I always screw up.
He has to have me do it because I'm like being sneaky sometimes.
Yeah.
Plus, if I keep trying, the controller's going to go flying.
Yeah. Luis has missed. He said, "Can't believe he left out San Andreas."
That one too. Like I said, I'm torn between them three.
Souls? Huh, that's first of the Souls games. Left out GTA San Andreas. That by far is pretty much like everyone's favorite. Like the well-known favorite among all fans.
It's usually number 2, usually behind 5.
Oh, I remember that one, Brent. Thank you very much.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Thank you for bringing that up.
One punch and down.
Yeah, if he hits you with the dynamite punch, yeah, that's pretty much one hit and you are down. I had to use cheat codes to beat that game because I couldn't get past Bald Bull.
I never beat it.
Legitly, I couldn't do it. Played Super Punch Out, and I can get past Bald Bull on that one. But Mike Tyson's Punch Out, Bald Bull was my nemesis.
You're gonna laugh. My first rage quit was Mega Man 2.
No, that sounds about right.
Right.
Yeah.
If you want to reveal something, you can do. What did you show me the other day with what you're doing on 2K23 WWE?
Oh, I haven't done that yet.
Which
haven't?
one?
I just started playing it.
Oh.
I just started the legacy. That's the My Rise mode on it. But they don't have your name in there, or even they don't even have Sky. So I don't know what name I could use for you.
I haven't played Pod Racer.
I
played X-Wing for the PC. I played TIE Fighter.
They don't have anything like that either. The closest thing to that is something like the Warrior Princess.
The Warrior Princess?
Yeah, that's the closest they've got to something like Gore Queen on there.
What about Vicious?
I'd have to look a bit more, though.
What about Vicious?
I'm pretty sure
they do have that.
Ooh, excuse me.
Yeah, because mine and Lisa's tag team name is Vicious and Delicious.
They do have that for a tag team name. Because I've seen it in there.
Yeah. Well, you can do me and Lisa then.
I'll text you some of the options they have when we get off here. Because I'm probably going to go back to playing it.
Probably.
Yeah, Brett mentioned Star Wars Pod Racer.
I never played it.
Neither have I. It didn't really interest me. I like Need for Speed.
That's me too, and then Gran Turismo.
Yep. I liked, for the Need for Speeds, 2 is my favorite. I liked, don't get me wrong, I love Speed. But 2 was my jam. It had the Ford GT90.
Use the talk on my language, Gran Turismo. I Need for Speed. Talk on my language.
Vigilante.
The last one, not the one that just came out, but Heat. Need for Speed Heat, the one that came out back in 2017. That's probably one of my favorite Need for Speed games. Vigilante 8, I played those.
And Chris says he's got 100%, so this means he's got a platinum.
Yeah, I just started Guardians of the Galaxy not too long ago, but I'm not that far in it. I'm liking it a lot.
Oh, don't you have anything to do with blood? Oh, you can't have blood, can you? Because WWE don't like the word blood.
Yeah, I know. What the hell?
What?
Oh, but they do have blood in the game.
You could do Blood Queen.
I don't know if they have something like that.
Blood Queen.
Like I said, I'll have to look and see what they have.
You call Charlotte Flair the Queen, so
right.
Or you should have Blood Queen.
Like I said, I'll take a look, but like I said, I'm not completely sure what they've got. Because I didn't see too much in there that was new from 2K22, even. It's a lot of the same stuff that was in there. But I didn't exactly take a long, hard look because I just wanted to make my character and jump in.
Down below the bottom.
Yeah, I'm playing Battle for Bikini Bottom right now. The remastered one.
I was gonna say if I was to play any first-person shooters, granted Call of Duty is my go-to, but the most of the multiplayer it's changed so much since the first Modern Warfare 2. It's just all over the place. It's like you can't really coordinate anything with it to make anything stick.
My go-to shooter is Far Cry.
But if I was to have an actual go-to, and I wish I had it right now, was Aliens vs. Predator 2, because the campaign, they all interlink with the story. And the multiplayer was, depending on which way you did it, you can have the alien life cycle. So if you play the alien, you can start off as a facehugger.
I think Skyla froze again.
Yeah, she froze.
Oh, boy.
She froze!
I'm still here.
Where'd you go?
I got that line going through my head.
I was frozen today.
Yep. The nostalgia critic. Yeah, it's frozen on her, like she can't believe what she heard, but it's frozen like that. Like what the? I kind of figured it was the pod race. Yeah, I've seen it on the.
I think it's on Game Pass anyway.
Yeah,
it's on PS Plus too.
I've played the Wii.
So have I.
I've had the Wii's. I had Twilight Princess for it. I had Punch Out, and as well as Super Mario and Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
Chris, remember Raving Rabbids?
Sorry.
I was about to say, where'd you go?
Messaging Luis.
But yeah, with AVP 2, if you were to play the multiplayer, if you are hosting or went to into a game room where basically they had what's called the alien life cycle. If you play the Xenomorph, you can literally start off as a facehugger and facehug people, and it's an automatic kill. But soon after that, it also does like the alien life cycle. You burst from their chest, and you start off, and then you're basically a chest burster. But you really can't do much. You can't really get any kills with it because you're so weak. You have to wait till you run and hide.
There was a game that me and Chris used to play. It was called Rayman Raving Rabbids. And It was when I lived at Timbers. It was these apartments over by where Barry works at. They're right behind Taco Bell here in town. I had an apartment there. Chris was staying with me, and this was one of the few times, if I remember correctly, and I'm pretty sure he'll comment on this, but I believe this was one of the few times he got high with me. And we're sitting there playing this game, and it got to, I think it was, no, it wasn't the movie theater. It was the one with all the rabbits in the back seat. Chris is just smacking every single one of them. Even the ones that, because you're supposed to smack the ones that are crying to get them to stop crying. Chris, meanwhile, is smacking every rabbit in the back seat, even the ones that aren't crying. I'm sitting there like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to hit the ones that are crying. He's like, I don't care. I just want to hit them. He had me on the floor laughing.
Someone likes your hat, right?
That's actually Barry's hat.
Yeah, mine's got the
He's got the same one I usually wear.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's got an Iron Maiden pin on it.
So yeah, he's wearing Barry's hat tonight.
Yeah, he's wearing a Halo hat, which is my new hat. But we have the same hat as this one, but mine's got the Iron Maiden pin. His has got the Linkin Park.
Not anymore. That pin broke.
Oh,
now the wrestling pin's on there.
Oh.
Well, he likes your hat, Barry, he said.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I have to have a full mouth.
I need to get an alien hat.
Chris sounds like me. Yep, then it was, because he's like, I don't care. I'm going to smack every rabbit in this back seat. I'm like, what's wrong with you? But then again, we are talking about a child hater. He sees kids, he's like, get him away from me.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, his pet rat, Tar. I'm sitting there. I do not remember what game it was I was playing. It might have been one of the Final Fantasies or something like that. But I was stuck on some boss trying to figure out how the heck I'm supposed to beat it. All of a sudden, Tar runs up because I'm sitting cross-legged on the floor with my controller in my hand. All of a sudden, Tar taps a button with his paw and kills this boss. I'm sitting there like, what the hell? Did this rat just kill this boss for me?
Well, speaking of Luis's comment,
yeah,
I've got a hat coming in the post for him. That's alien related.
Ooh, favorite obscure game.
Ooh.
I've got one. It's one for the PS1. It's called Thousand Arms. It's a mix of turn-based RPG and dating sim, because there's a big part of it where your lead character is basically what they call a spirit blacksmith, meaning that the weapons your character uses are forged with different types of magic, and it's required that a girl is with you to infuse these weapons with magic. And so you have to take these girls out on dates, give them gifts, and the higher their relationship level is with you, the better their skills are with your weapons. So like the higher your relationship level is with them, the better and more powerful weapons they can make for you. And I don't think there's been a game like it since.
Oh, Sims games, yes. I've pretty much played them all.
Yeah.
I played 1 through 4. I liked 4. From playing 4, I liked it the most, but 1 because when I was on the PC, you can mod it with skins. And pretty much be any character you wanted.
Oh yeah, I would say look into it. Like look up a couple of reviews about it. It's actually a pretty good game. It's from Atlas, the developers that did the Persona series.
What other game? I can't think of one. I know I played.
Then there's, let me think.
Hey, Brent's there in the pot. Look at Brent.
Sim Pets? No, I haven't played Sim Pets.
Look at Brent's there in the pot. Oh boy.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can answer that because most of the kids of today are pussies. Plain and simple. And no, I do not include in Tori in that. Tori is badass. But some of the kids around here, my God. But like, I mean, nowadays they friggin' give kids trophies in different like sporting events and shit just for participating. I didn't get no trophies like that when I was coming up.
I sure as hell
What the
did.
hell is that supposed to do to a kid's self-esteem? Oh, you came in last place, but here's a trophy for your self-esteem. Really? Really?
When you think about it, it actually destroys self-esteem, doesn't build it up. The fact of losing and knowing that you lost helps build self-esteem and character because it makes you want to try harder.
But nowadays, it has to be all, everybody wins. We can't have no hurt feelings. Na, 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 na.
I don't remember one day where the world cared about my feelings.
Same here.
Yeah, they are obnoxious. I do agree. Oh, I do agree with that comment.
It is the way they're raised nowadays, Brent. You can't discipline them anymore. Louise, parents already have no power nowadays. What are you talking about in 20 years from now? Most parents already have no power between the friggin' school and everything else.
Looking at somebody that's got no power.
My point exactly. Hell, when I was in school, my mom had no power. Only time she had power is if she went in there raising hell.
Yep. And it still didn't make anything better.
No. Uh-oh, Skyla dropped again.
There we go. She's back.
It's the reception.
Oh, Sean, why'd you have to mention a full moon? Don't set me off.
Too late.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of an obscure game that I've played.
So I'm trying to think of a couple of them. There's so many I friggin' played.
Over. Oh no, I can do that now. I'm going to just change it over for 1 second.
Okay.
Silly. Just keep me setting off the Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay.
So
I know there's probably one, and it was a strategy, but it was for the PlayStation, and it was based upon the movie of Matthew Broderick, War Games. It was called War Games DEFCON 1.
Huh.
Where you played against, where you're basically human side playing against that big old computer. The AI that was in the movie.
Yeah, I missed the 90s too. Are you kidding me? What a friggin' time to be alive.
80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Of course, you think about it, we were kind of that transitional generation. You could say we were 80s and 90s kids.
Pretty much. I know I've got a few more. Oh, yeah, there's another one I think maybe called Fighting Force.
Oh, yeah, I played that.
That's pretty obscure. It don't get talked about.
That got a sequel, too.
I only played the first one.
Yeah. Have you played the Quarry?
Yes, but I have not gotten that far into it, and it kind of, oh no, it kind of put me off.
Because of the one little thing you get to find.
Multiple things.
Everyone thinks the 90s is the best decade.
80s and 90s, when you think about it. Both were good decades. 2000s was a good decade, but not as good as the 80s or 90s.
So was I, Louise. I was special ed too, my entire life.
We all was.
And school for me was just the basic stuff. They didn't have all this bullshit. Excuse my language.
It's okay. Well, I couldn't speak till I was 5, so.
But then again, I can't really talk because of the fact that I was the kid who his mother basically let him go into the video store at 8 years old and rent anything he wanted. With minus a few exceptions. So she definitely got some weird looks for that.
Yeah.
And I was the kid renting stuff like friggin' Halloween, Elm Street, Die Hard, all that type of stuff. And my mom's getting looked at like she's a bad mother.
Well, I didn't have a short bus. I was in a taxi and humiliated by
Short
people.
bus up until junior high.
I was in a taxi for 2
I
years.
hated
And
that
then
shit.
I got it. Yeah, and then they put me in a taxi for college because they thought I was in like a special ed class for college, and I wasn't.
Minibus for me, unless it was the occasional one day a week I got to drive. Because I had to share my car.
Yeah, I was in a private taxi that was paid for by the education.
There's a lot of anime games that are pretty obscure that were never released over here.
Even the ones that were released over here.
Yeah, they were all obscure. Inuyasha being one of them, Sailor Moon, Silent Mobius. Heck, I think even, Blue Seed even. Bubblegum Crisis maybe. There was an anime over in Japan, there was a game for it. At least one that I know of.
Yeah, it felt like they couldn't afford the rest of the bus. Of course, the one I rode, there was people I wanted to smack upside the head. It's no wonder I started taking my headphones every day.
As Robin Williams put, the late Robin Williams put, oh, give it to them that damage people.
Believe you me.
I know.
Then I wasn't as damaged as most of them idiots on that bus.
I know. Favorite game never in the U.S.
Ooh.
That's a tough one.
I gotta go with the Sailor Moon RPG on the Super Famicom. Yeah, Chris just mentioned it, the Sailor Moon RPG. I actually played it when we were in school, dude.
There's even the Sakura Wars ones that were released earlier on, like PlayStation before, which actually is known as Sakura Tyson in Japan. Which I'm playing the newest one on PS4, and I still love it. The one I'd wish they do in a form of GTA style, Black Lagoon. Because they actually had fan art that actually looked like, GTA style. So I think that actually become a decent hit if they were to do it right.
Oh yeah.
Hell, I don't think there's. There might not be an Outlaw Star one. I don't know. Have to look at that one. That might be another good one.
Luis, those kids probably have more than just multiple safe spaces. They probably have puppy rooms and stuff. Because their day is so stressful, they need time to go lay down with puppies instead of doing their work.
What work? Dire Straits, money for nothing.
I'm talking about like in school and shit.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Even for their jobs, it's still money for nothing.
Yeah. Even in high school, we have a segregated area where the kids can go if they feel like low and down.
My favorite quote about high school comes from Darlene on Roseanne. High school is learning lies and telling lies.
Yeah.
In a big popularity contest.
Oh, yeah. That too. Of course, for me, it was like, what popularity contest?
Yeah.
Me and Chris were bottom of the food chain.
Yeah, I was the kid that was just hanging around with everybody. Like
7-Eleven rented VHS tapes. Yeah, I remember that. Sean, we had gas stations here in my town that rented VHS tapes. High school, you can ask Chris. I was usually quiet unless I was with our group of friends, or if you messed with me, then I was going off. But that would usually be the one I did get made fun of a lot for being a nerd and what I was into, but also because I wore the leather jacket, combat boots. I was an emo.
I had a train of thought and I lost it.
Sorry.
No, not you. I had it and it was poof.
I was the fat kid that was just in everybody's group. I was in like the wrestling group. I wasn't ever in the popular group. Tried to keep me.
Chris and I were part of the crowd of what would probably now be called the weebs.
Yeah.
Because we were into anime and all of that.
Yeah.
And we used to call ourselves otaku, which was the actual word. But then I believe weeb came about because of the fact that there was a serial killer over in Japan known as the otaku killer.
Yeah. Brent said it himself. Brent said the perfect thing. Rainy, you still are. You're just kidding. You're an awesome living legend. I like that comment, Brent. Oh, Skyla looks pretty. I don't, honestly. I think all this talk about the school and that's
like Chris pointed out, he got made fun of for playing Yu-Gi-Oh! But then again, him and me got made fun of for damn near everything we did.
Yeah.
Some people thought we were a couple because where one went, the other followed. No, we just had a bond like brothers.
Yeah. I was the kid that got picked on because of my weight, and I was the kid that got hair ripped, cracked for no reason because I was trying to get into the classroom.
Well, it's no secret why I got picked on. I can tell you right now.
And it's the big R.
It's because of this right here.
Skin color.
Yeah, which is wrong.
Because the school I went to was 99.8% all white.
It shouldn't be like that.
Chris, there was what? Maybe 3 other black kids besides me?
And there wasn't even that many in my school as well.
Oh, now I remember.
We never even had a prom.
My ex-girlfriend revealed she was cheating on me and dumped me at mine. I literally felt like Carrie.
Okay, I remember my train of thought, what I had in mind. The games that basically D&D games. like Boulder's Gate, Icewind Dale 2, then the Fallouts, which
I'm gonna let Barry sit here and talk for a few while I take a quick smoke break.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get up so you can sit down for a few.
So we can have Barry's world of gaming wisdom. And you can show everybody your t-shirts
I
as
got a
well.
good knowledge, but not about everything.
Yeah.
I get pretty good knowledge.
You show everyone your t-shirt as well. Because you've got a cool t-shirt.
But yeah, there's pretty sure there's D&D games that were for the PC that you can probably find on the consoles now. Boulder's Gate being one of them. The 1 and 2, along with 3 whenever that one comes. It might be out already. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. But there's one that hasn't been released on. It's only on the PC and it's done by D&D as well. It's Icewind Dale 2. Same concept of what basically Boulder's Gate and everything is. Make a party and just go along the storyline. Then everyone pretty much knows about BioShock. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's pretty much a game that's being remade that was basically before BioShock, and it's called System Shock. Yo, how's it going?
Yeah.
But yeah, System Shock was before BioShock, though. And the very first System Shock that came out was actually for DOS. Mm-hmm. And then System Shock 2 came out in the mid to late 90s. I think it was 97, 98. It was a first-person RPG. It had RPG elements. You didn't raise levels or anything, but you upgraded yourself because you're partially cybernetic. And you're aboard a ship called the Von Braun. And you just wake up from cold sleep because you had surgery for and you have no clue what's going on because your memory was pretty much wiped except for what you've gone through training and such. And at the very beginning, you don't find yourself aboard the Von Braun first. You basically go into this recruitment station where you learn the basics of how to move and such, and then advance how to repair your items and everything else. And then you get to choose 3 fields. OSA, which is like you're an agent that basically uses your mind as a weapon with the help of a tool. I have not played Myst. I see my mom played it. Yeah, my favorite game of all time. My favorite game of all time. That is a very, very tough one. There are so many.
I'm back.
That is a tough one. My favorite game of all time. I have like 5 in my head right now, and I'm trying to cut which one is going to be the top of all of them. Oh, I am a very thorough and hardcore gamer. Yeah, I don't care what platform it is. As long as it has the games that I like to play, I'll play on it. If it's either be PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, PC, I'll play on it. But my favorite game of all time, it had to be Aliens vs. Predator 2, which was done by Monolith and Sierra. Then
so what were the 5 games that you were thinking in your head? You want it to be your favorite?
No, I already named it off. It's basically Angels Predator 2 is my favorite of all time.
Every one of my subscribers loves video games, so yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, and I have a boyfriend in this one as well.
That's the Yep.
Yeah.
My mom, when I was younger, we had a Super Nintendo at one point, and I had gotten Breath of Fire for my birthday because my grandparents had gotten it as a birthday gift. I was torn between. Actually, no, I think it wasn't that, but it was a game that I did get. It was the very first Breath of Fire. Favorite PS1 game recommendation for me, if you haven't played it, Alien Trilogy.
Oh, plug and play
games.
I would say Thousand Arms.
I suppose for me. But for you, yeah, it would be 1,000 Arms.
Are you getting the questions thrown at you?
Yeah, ever play any plug-in play games? Like as in like you like for like cartridges, or are we talking about something else?
Brent, floor's yours, lad.
I think he means them little ones from like the mid 2000s that had like Pac-Man and stuff on them.
All those. Can't say I have. Gemini. I think I've seen that in stores, but never played it, Chris. I never even picked it up. I was just looking at it and just went over it because it at the time didn't interest me. Let's see, but yeah, for PS1 game recommendation from me would be Alien Trilogy. For Andre, he whispered to me would be his recommendation would be 1,000 Arms. I've seen my little brother play that. Never was like, yeah, that ain't for me.
I know one I forgot to mention. Lunar.
Oh yeah. He just now brought it up that slipped my mind was an RPG called Lunar. The Silver Stories.
Silver Star Story.
Oh, Silver Star Story, sorry. Oh, good. Never even. I saw it, but never even picked it up or anything. Like the music that they did. I was picky about my music though. But other than that, game show games. The only one.
Wheel of Fortune.
He's played Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy on PS4 or the Xbox.
PS4.
Yeah, the PS4.
Box, I paid.
Me, on the other hand, game show games. The only one that comes closest to me, and it wasn't. No, actually, that's not a game show at all. Never played that one.
You've not played Prices.
I liked watching the shows rather than actually getting the game to play them.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a PC and you do have either Steam or GOG,
Yeah, I played that one.
I haven't played that one, but since it is considered a game show, but it's a competition, but it is considered a game show that I have played, Hell's Kitchen on the PC. Let's see what else. And it's like a timing based thing. Have you ever played Overcooked? If you've played Overcooked or Overcooked 2, it's kind of like that, but you don't control a character. You just basically sit there and you basically do what you. It's kind of like that, but except you're basically prepping and you do multiple things and you're on a timer of how to get which out and what everything else, and you get rated by stars by the man himself, Gordon Ramsay. And if you do well, he pretty much he praises you. But there's one time he actually yelled at me. He just says, "Shut it down." It's hilarious. But if then there's another game that I really liked the most that I got that was from '98 was Battlezone. It was pretty much it's a first person simulator, first person shooter simulator with real time strategy mixed into it. You built a base and you collected biometal, which is basically your currency, as well as if you build barracks, you get pilots, which allow you to make basically like offensive units or defensive units, which requires biometal and pilots. And once your pilots are out, that was it. I had played the Donkey Kong games. I was only the first one though, but I beat it. Didn't play the other ones. I only like the first. I've only played the first one, so I can't really say I like the other ones because I never really played them.
Yeah, Donkey Kong's a classic.
I have played the old Donkey Kong though, the arcade version. I can honestly say that one's harder than Donkey Kong Country.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if anyone knows about it, but I'm pretty sure everyone knows about Gears of War and how they say how they brought up the blind fire system. They weren't the first to implement it though. My favorite RPG, that one. Torn between the Final Fantasy IV, Chrono Trigger, and the Diablo series. I haven't played on Mario RPG. Never got a chance to. I'll have to probably put it on my emulator and try it out. Because there's also other RPGs. There's an RPG. Yeah, Mario. I never played Mario Paint. It didn't really appeal to me. I looked at it and I was like, no, not for me.
Played it once and I hated it.
Then there are other RPGs too that I've played. I played Paladin's Quest. Didn't beat it, but I have played it. Played Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. But my most favorite RPG would probably would have to be Final Fantasy IV or Breath of Fire. They're tied, so I'm just gonna say both. That's a good one. Let's see what. Hmm. Let's see. Let's see. There's other ones that I played too. That's on PC as well, but the other one is King's Quest 8, which would be called instead of being called 8, it's actually called The Mask of Eternity. It can either be third person or first person RPG, and also like any other King's Quest, you also have to solve puzzles in order to move forward and such while finding the pieces of the Mask of Eternity. Never beat it. I think I got as far as is basically is to I think it is a swamp. Yeah, there's another good one. Thanks for bringing that up. Fable. Yes, that is a good series. 1 through 3. Beat all 3.
Yeah, Dead or Alive.
Dead or Alive? Yeah, I've played those. Played 3, 4. Played the Extreme Beach volleyball ones too.
Mm-hmm. I am indeed. I am the night owl.
And since you brought up Dead or Alive, there's one that's there's a wrestling game that is called Rumble Roses. It's an all-female wrestler game. Played the first one. I haven't played the second. I played the first one. I believe it's for the PS2 and 360. And I know there was another one that's called Double X, but I never got a chance to play it yet. I gotta find it first. Yeah, that'd be on. I believe André's played that one. I'll have to ask him. Let's see. I've never owned it, but I've had the emulator, the Atari Jaguar. The only game I got for was Alien vs. Predator, which was out of all of them the first person shooter alien of the Alien game for AVP was the first one for first person shooter for AVP.
Frogger.
Yeah, there's an old game. Atari 2600. And if any, let's see, what?
It's a joke.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, don't remind me. It's like 4:32 here in the morning.
Let's see.
Still going. Strong.
Oh, I had it in my head, but now I lost it.
Stops the zombie.
He's played that one. We watch him on every now and then. Yeah. Yep, I remember that movie. I loved the laxative moment. But I had the game in my head, but I lost it.
You called it. It's raining.
I told you.
Slashing down with rain in Michigan.
Yeah, now. It's raining here, and I called it. Living in Washington State for 30 plus years, you get to know these things.
Raining and it's a full moon. Great.
Oh, too bad for you.
Silence.
Oh boy. Oh no. That's not going to happen. I'm going to check out the weather is now here because it's pitch black. It's cold. Cold, but not that cold. Yep, it's cold.
Let's see.
It's cold.
I've also played World of Warcraft when I was still over in Washington State. And I can honestly say the Cataclysm was the last one I played of the expansions. But the best expansion for that was Frozen Throne. Or that's not Frozen Throne. That's Warcraft 3. The Wrath of the Lich King. That's what I'm thinking about.
I don't like. Oh yeah, the only cookies I like is shortcake. Stop talking about cookies. We're talking about games here.
I had one game in my head. I can't figure out what it was. I lost it. The Bulldog and Shih Tzu joke from Dumb and Dumber lost my train of thought, but that's all right. I had a good laugh. I loved it.
Yeah, friends. He's always a comedian, Barry. Always has been.
You need a sense of humor.
Well, he's got one.
I know. It's yeah. My enemy thought is it's still drawing a blank too.
You should be on these lives more often. You're hilarious, Barry.
Man, that one. I had a game in my head. I had a game right in my head, and I lost it. I'm trying to think of what it was. I've played the first one on the NES.
I haven't played
The second.
At one point, not by choice, but it wasn't. But it was like short lived. As I was, then it was only like a couple times, like 2 or 3 times, because there's no other bus.
Lucky.
But yeah, that's what I remember. Has anybody played Super C, which is the second in the Contra series?
Awkward.
Because it's so rare.
Not for you, Barry, don't worry. You just keep on talking away.
But yeah, the reason why Def Jams, I'm pretty sure, is because it's so rare to find.
And it's one of them that's highly collectible. A lot of people want it.
Yeah, it's one of the holy grails It's one of the holy grails.
Because I'm trying to get it too.
But
I heard you say there was a game you had to ask me about.
Hang on a second. Let me go up. I'm pretty sure it's further up. Right there.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I did play that.
All right.
And Stubbs the Zombie.
Yep. Oh, I already knew that. But oh, okay. With Super C, though, there is a Konami code for it. But it's not like the first one. The first Contra was, everyone knows the first Konami code for Contra, for the first one. While as the second one, however, it has a Konami code too, but it's backwards. Instead of up, up, down, down, it's down, down, up, up, right, left, A, B, A, B. But you have your timed on it. You have to have that in at a certain point before the big C shows up on Super, or else you don't get to 10 lives. It's not 30, it's 10. And my grandpa, when I was a kid, got it once because it's that hard to put in. And with that game, 10 lives ain't enough. You go through them real quick.
I'll be back in 1 second. You carry on, Patty. It's all good.
Because how the first one, everything's, coming at you and everything at normal speeds, but it's just so many. While as with Super C, as you go further into the game, the dudes that just run, that you normally see, the green dudes that just normally run, not the red ones, but the green that just run across the screen, you can outrun them from the first level, but as you go on through the game, they get faster and faster to the point where they're outrunning you. And that's around Area 6 is when they run the same speed as you. Area 7, Area 6 is the top down. So I believe is Area 5 where they're pretty much running the same speed as you. But 7 and 8, they're running faster than you. And they fly at you like nobody's business. Homebrew game. Like indie games. Favorite. Okay, so that's another one. Favorite side scroller game. There's a lot of them.
Mega Man 2.
Mega Man's one of them. The Mega Man series, that's a good one. The Contra series, like obviously.
Ghosts and Goblins.
The Ghost and Goblin series.
Castlevania.
Yeah, Castlevania would be considered a side scroller.
I'd like to speak to the Wiz.
The beat 'em up games are side scrollers. But my favorite side scroller game, I would have to go with Aliens Infestation for the DS done by Way Forward.
And this is Roger Ebert, the Pulitzer Prize-winning film critic of the Chicago Sun-Times. Now, in addition to The Wiz, Roger and I will be reviewing what we both agree is one of the most stunningly beautiful films we've ever seen, Days of Heaven. And in the comedy Who is Killing the Great Chefs of Europe, we both like the performance of an actor best known for his TV commercials. That's Robert Morley. We'll also review Girlfriend.
Oh, there's another one I forgot. It's an anime game. The Sword Art Online games. The SAOs. Those games are fun. They're mainly RPGs, but they're what you would call just they're if you've played them, they're like basically there's no turn based. You just hack and slash. Oh, so basically basically kind of like indie games, but just done by people at home and such. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of them that I've played. A lot of them not safe for work. I'll just say that. Some of them are text adventures because I like reading because reading gives you a better mental picture. One of them, if I would have to say for the homebrew, it's an artist. He has a site. It goes by Fenoxo, or however you spell it. It's Fenoxo. He does the Corruption of Champions and Trials in Tainted Space, so that they're not safe for work. I'll just leave it at that. But they are fun.
I'm still here. I'm listening away.
I'm
so passionate about them.
But yeah, they're not safe for work, so don't play them at work. You'll get in trouble. Trust me on that. Play them at home and enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
they're text-based adventures, but some of them do have pictures. They do have pictures from artists in there too, for characters and such, character avatars. But the one I like to play the most is Trials in Tainted Space, and if you put them in acronyms, it spells tits, literally. But it's a text-based event RPG adventure. It's still in the works. It's still having stuff added to it and everything else.
Have you seen Pawn Stars, buddy?
I have. Not exactly my thing. I watched it I watched an episode here and there, and I come with someone across it, but never really tickled my fancy, to be honest. I prefer shows like MASH, MASH, Star Trek: The Next Generations, the original, the OG Star Trek from '60s,
Big Bang.
The Big Bang Theory.
Have you guys seen me?
You watch Grays with me.
I watch Grays with him every now and then, but not as much as him.
Robert England, the TV series.
Which one?
V.
No,
You've
I
never
have heard
seen
of it. There's the '80s. There's the one with Robert Englund, and there's the remake.
the one with Robert England.
I think I may have seen an episode as a kid. I can't quite remember what episode. So I can't quite remember, but I know I've seen at least a partial episode.
It was a mini series.
But yeah. I also like the A-Team from the 80s with Mr. T as B.A. Baracus. I've seen a few episodes of Doctor Who.
Don't forget about Frasier.
Oh yeah. He mentioned that to me. Frasier. I loved Frasier because it was based in Seattle. And it's hilarious. One of the episodes, they're trying to write a book, and they're in a hotel. One of the episodes, they're literally fighting. They're just arguing and bickering over each other. They're both psychiatrists. At one point, they're literally fighting. Frasier knocks Niles to the bed and jumps on him. He's like, "Ah! My God, I'm having a flashback. You're climbing into my crib and jumping on me. You stole my mommy." It's hilarious. It's wonderful. Kelsey Grammer is just perfect in that show.
Yeah.
But Kelsey Grammer, his first start on a TV show was actually, if I remember correctly, was Cheers.
Yeah.
Frasier's a spinoff of that.
Yep, Frasier's a spinoff of Cheers, along with Woody Harrelson was also his first start was Cheers. Let's see what other. No, I'm a cartoon shows. Mine was The Real Ghostbusters, G.I. Joe.
Oh, good one.
The PSAs for G.I. Joe were pretty much nostalgic to me. But the parodies are just as funny. The G.I. Joe PSA parodies are funny. Some of them more than others.
Do you remember, like, He-Man? You know, the
I wasn't a He-Man kid. I never really got into He-Man.
Yeah. But what I was going to say is if you got, like, the ending part, you say all these, like, weird sayings, like, don't do drugs, don't do this, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah, that one, but with the G.I. Joe PSAs, there were some like, this kid falls into a cliff and is panicking, so he's splashing around, and Torpedo, who's one of their deep sea divers, comes up and literally tells him they basically said to tread water so he can wait for rescue. Kick your legs into a scissor and move your hands in a circular motion or figure eight motion to tread water instead of panicking. Yep. Thundercats. My sister loved Thundercats. I watched it too. Oh, yep. I remember those. Yes. I remember that PSA. Yes, I do. The Nostalgia Critic had that PSA in there from the Super Mario Brothers.
Yes.
Because I also had Dark and Lonely Waters had it in there, but he went right back to Mario because it didn't work for him.
Which had me fucking mad.
Yeah.
And to do that one for years.
When he finally did it, he still went right back to the Mario one. She-Ra, no,
They're like,
I didn't.
fuck you,
I didn't
Captain
watch
Lou.
She-Ra. Yeah, it was part of the He-Man series. It didn't really. It didn't really tickle my fancy as a kid. But yeah, Ghostbusters, on the other hand, the real Ghostbusters, if you've watched the cartoon for Garfield, the guy who talks for Garfield also talks for Peter Venkman in the first few seasons of the real Ghostbusters. In the Slimer and the real Ghostbusters, it's somebody else. And just about every episode, Peter is slimed by Slimer in the real Ghostbusters. Yeah, I've got the Contra collection too. Yeah, we got DuckTales. We got the Disney collection, so we got that. Never really watched Foul Albert, but I did watch Scooby Doo, even though that was before I was born. But I still loved it.
Scooby Doo junkie.
But with if you've played the Contra collection, you think Super C is bad? Play Contra Hardcores. That one has them all beat. It's right up there with Shattered Soldier. But too bad that's not in there. That was I never watched that one, but I have heard of it for the Ghostbusters TV show, which had the gorilla.
I heard of that too, but I never saw it.
I never saw it either because it never really took off like the real Ghostbusters did. But the funny thing is, for the movie, the concept was there wasn't what we have for the 1984 movie was not the original concept. The original concept was for have Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi going through time chasing ghosts. Was the original concept for Ghostbusters. But sadly, when we lost John Belushi, it went to what it is now, which is still great. Yeah, Super C, it's backwards. It is the up, up, down, down code, but backwards. You have to go down, down, up, up, right, left, right, left. A, B, instead of BA. It's backwards. And you have to do it before the big C shows up on Super. But you have to do it just right or else you never get it. And it's the hardest code to do that I know of. Because it's just got to be timed perfectly to get the 10 lives. That's all you get. And 10 lives in Super C do not last long. But yeah, but Contra Hardcores is difficulty is right up there with, if not just a bit more than Shattered Soldier for PS2. Then but yeah, those are only there's the original Comic-Con and the Super C Comic-Con, which is, like I said, backwards. And so it's just not really worth pulling off. I played the first Zelda, Zelda 2, Link's Adventure, Link to the Past.
I played Link's Awakening.
He's played Link's Awakening.
I I played Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. That's where I stopped.
I've played the Four Swords for, I believe, for the Advance, which was also linked with.
Well, let's say I thought that was on GameCube.
There was also one for the Game Boy Advance where it's A Link to the Past, but it also had the Four Swords. If you had 4 people, you can play with 4 swords for the Game Boy Advanced. It was a double feature.
That must be the one I was thinking of because you could play it on the GameCube too.
Yeah, but then I played that one for the Game Boy Advance. I've also then Twilight Princess is where I stopped. I didn't get a chance to play. Never played Rolling Thunder.
I heard of it, just never played it.
My favorite toy as a kid. That's a tough one. I have so many. I actually literally had the Proton Pack as a kid. As a toy one from the real Ghostbusters, as well as the trap. I even had the jumpsuit. The Firehouse, Ecto 1. Believe Ecto 3 was the buggy, which wasn't at all in the series, but they had it in there. The containment unit, all 4 Ghostbusters.
I had the Turtle Dam, but I didn't really play with toys.
Besides that, I also had the G.I. Joe toys. I had the Hiss tank. I've had the Whale, which is the hovercraft boat. I had the USS Flag, which is their main carrier, which took up a good portion of one side to the other of the room, lengthwise. I had the Skyhawk. Never played. We got to get that one.
Yeah, I've been wanting to play that.
Because it is Atlas.
Okay, I'm just going to the toilet a minute, okay? So you carry on.
I've played Persona 2. The one after the
Eternal Punishment.
Yeah, I played Eternal Punishment for Persona 2. I've played some of Persona 3, but didn't get far. Didn't play Persona 4 yet. Persona 5 Royal. And the first Persona 5 and the Persona 5 Royal. I liked Royal.
Royal's the one to go with.
The Royal is the most fluid and easy to get a hold of than all the other ones. Because its system is pretty much downright perfect.
And you don't have to play any of the other ones to just jump right into 5.
Yeah, because they're all separate. They all have their own different stories. I've also played Persona 5 Strikers, which is
I would say continuation.
It's a continuation of Persona 5 Royal. Instead of the distorted hearts, it's desires that the baddies are after, and it plays out more like
Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, it plays like Dynasty Warriors. Another one that's that also is it from Atlas is Odin Sphere.
Yes.
There's Odin Sphere, which is a side-scrolling RPG. But that one's a bit hard. You literally have to grind. Because once you get to a certain point, if you don't level up one of the characters, you can't move on past that story. You can't move on further into the end game. You're stuck. Most people will go like, "Oh, I don't feel like grinding, so I'm just gonna go try and beat the game." When it comes to RPGs, you have to grind. It is a necessity. It is a number one necessity. You have to grind. It's not like, some people with Dark Souls and the Souls games where you can just possibly split and just do a run through.
Some games make the grind more fun than others.
As he put it, some are more fun than others when it comes to grinding. Because I've learned with RPGs, if you go too far, too fast,
you're screwed.
You're screwed. Lemmings, never played it.
I have. That game was fun.
Yeah, I never played the Lemmings. It didn't.
That was an early Rockstar game.
It didn't really appeal to me, so I didn't really look for it.
That's way early Rockstar.
No, you haven't done the giveaways, have you yet?
Which one?
The giveaways.
No, we haven't.
No, it hasn't done yet. No, we haven't done the giveaways yet. No. She is AFK at the moment. She had to do something real quick, from what I gathered. But no problem. Let's see, but if you have an emulator or an actual NES, I'd recommend picking up Crystalis. Because if you like Zelda clones, that's a good one. And it's done by SNK. I've played both Duke Nukem and Doom. I've even played the side-scrolling shooters of Duke Nukem, which were DOS, literally just DOS. Same with Doom. Fun fact, if you've never heard of it, but when Doom came out with its shareware version, literally, Microsoft did a poll did a little research poll. They literally found out that people had Doom shareware. More people had installed Doom, the shareware version, than Windows on their computers. Because that's how popular Doom was when it came out. But the grandfather to all first-person shooters would be Wolfenstein 3D. It was just called Windows in general at that point. Yeah, I've heard that too, that Frazier was coming back. Only problem is the father, he's not exactly the actor that played the father isn't exactly around anymore. He kind of passed away a couple of years ago. But if you like games like, there are real-time strategies where you build your base, I would recommend, the Warcraft series, Warcraft Orcs and Humans, or Warcraft 2, StarCraft, even the Command and Conquer series. I prefer the G.I. Joe ones. I prefer the G.I. Joe PSAs. There's a saying they always had. Now we know, and knowing is half the battle. My other half, he's sitting right here.
I'm here.
He's still here. He came back in.
I just went out for a smoke break. I'm back.
He's still here. No worries. Movies hunting down recommendations.
Oh,
It depends on what you're into.
That all depends on what you're into. To me, I would have to say if you're looking for black and white movies, for me, it would have to be Them from 1958. She might be. I don't know.
No, she doesn't smoke.
Horror? I would have to say it's part of that genre. Them is part of that genre, as well as A Thing from Another World. They're both old black and white movies, but they're both good in my opinion. I love Them.
Skyla, check your messages from me.
Okay.
Yes, Them is about giant ants. Because when it was basically they've been mutated from the Manhattan Projects. That also reminds me of a game that basically Lucas Arts, which was basically the Lucas Arts was a video game. Lucas Arts was basically a video game company as well, a part of the Lucas Films, and they created a game that was called Zombies Ate My Neighbors. There was a top-down shooter that you basically had squirt guns to start off with. For weapons, you got squirt guns. But yeah, you had squirt guns to start off with. Then you got squirt guns. You got soda cans would act like grenades. You get to throw tomatoes, fork and knives, plates, a cross. There's a cross in there, weed whacker, a fire extinguisher, popsicles. And the point of the game was basically to find all 10 victims and rescue them all in order to proceed on to the next stage. If you lost any, you basically start off with 10 and you go all the way until, and if you lose all 10, it's game over. But there are ways to get extra victims, get victims back, but you have to do a certain amount of levels by rescuing them all without losing any. And another good side scroller one that was done by the same company was the Super Star Wars. The Super Star Wars games. Super Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, and Super Star Wars Return of the Jedi. Oh boy. It figures that would be a Bill Murray move he'd probably pull. But again, you said it was just rumor. unless someone actually can come up or come through and actually. Yep, it is exactly that. Happy Star Wars Day.
Keep going, Barry.
Mm-hmm. Just thinking. Huh. Let's see what others. I would have to say if you were looking for there are some games that had like full action videos. I don't know what my handle is yet. But there are some games when full video animation came out with live actors and such. The only company that actually did that right was Westwood Studios, which is the father. I don't know. To me, I don't think it jives. If you want to say that, it doesn't really click. I'll have to think of something else. I can think of something, but I don't know yet. I gotta find something. I gotta figure that one out. But Westwood Studios was that I know was the first to actually perfect the live action video for games in between missions and such. No big deal. But other than that, it's just sad that the EA had to buy them out. The last good Command and Conquer game, last few good Command and Conquer games was basically Command and Conquer Tiberium and its expansion, along with Generals. The Red Alert 3 was okay, but it wasn't that great. While as Red Alert, Command and Conquer 3, Tiberium was the continuation of Tiberian's Sun. But instead of, you have two people on the GDI side that were the leaders. You had Michael Ironside as one of the leaders, along with he was Lando. I'll just say that. He was Billy. It was Billy. I forgot his last name. But it was Lando. Lando Calrissian himself was Director Boyle. And you can't really have a Command and Conquer game without the man who played Kane. Now, whereas the worst RTS, I would have to say, would be Aliens vs. Predator Extinction. Was the worst one I've played. And that was for PS2 and Xbox. And it was just, it was horrible. The only really good thing that basically made the game somewhat okay was the Colonial Marines. That was it. The other two were just yeah. No, that's a fun fact I never knew about. Yeah, Bruce just brought up that the Friday the 13th for NES was developed by Atlas.
Which one?
The NES game.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
No, when it comes to NES games, like as the nerd put it, if you see the rainbow with LJ on it, it is the mark of death for basically video games. Because they made some really, really bad ones, and I've played quite a few of them. But let's see. Yeah, the only thing good to come out of LJN's library was Spider-Man Maximum Carnage. That was the only good decent game they made that was actually functional without having any problems. And a side-scrolling beat 'em up. Let's see. Yeah, I never played any of those. I've seen them, but never played them. But then there's yeah, the Sega CD. Never played any of them. Saw them in store. I saw the games in stores and such, but never really played any of them. I didn't really have a Sega of my own. But let's see what else. Zero tolerance. Rings a bell, but I don't think I've played it. No, I played Xenophobe for the NES.
don't even care if there really is a Billy Gates or not. They're involved in the story of this young American kid. They get wrapped
Let's
up in
see.
it. I think by overloading it, by making it so horrible in the prison, like you said, that they changed this kid into a hero. I don't think he was a hero. All I think he was a survivor. He was a survivor. He was a drug smuggler. But it's kind of like the bad guys in a Hitchcock film. Because the camera follows him in their story, you identify with him. So he was a smuggler. At the same time, he wanted to get out of prison. Okay, it thrilled you, didn't thrill me. The last thing that really scared me was The Exorcist. Before that, Rosemary's Baby. Well, there's a new movie named Magic. This is as good as those two thrillers. It's the exciting story of a schizophrenic magician who uses ventriloquism in his act. And his dummy is the stronger part of his personality. Anthony Hopkins plays the ventriloquist magician. After he gets to big in New York City, he becomes frightened by his success.
Trying to brainstorm.
Resort in the woods, owned by a woman he had a crush on in high school. Anne Margaret plays that woman. She's unhappily married now. And she's excited to see Hopkins and his wife kind of.
Oh my God, you're so fast. You thought I didn't remember. You knew I was. Yeah. Why didn't you tell me in front of each other? That's as cute as he is on the tube. Cute?
Let's see. I know one thing's for sure. I'm very sure it's everyone's seen it on YouTube. The trailers for, if you like the Aliens games, there's a new one coming out called Aliens Dark Descent, which is basically a real-time strategy, but you don't build bases. It's squad-based strategy. And it's got me hooked. Just from just watching it alone and knowing about it has me hooked already. Since I first heard about it. And I do plan on pre-ordering it before it even comes out.
I can feel myself starting to slip on the ice. So long. And now you're fine? Sure. I'm kind of pain. Hello? I'm terrific, doctor. Look, Pat, please. Come on, please. Sorry. I've known her ever since high school. I figured I'd had a chance with her, but she believes me. Girls up and down the line, kid.
Let's see.
You gotta let me help you. I know a lot of people. Beautiful doctors. He means head shrinkers. They just think they're a fruitcake. They never did that. He's on our side. Take the film. Don't forget that.
They're
Hey, kid. I'm going to ask you to do something. It's a little something anybody ought to be able to do. Now, if you can do it, fine. We'll forget this whole thing. But if you can't, think about getting you to see somebody fast. Is it a deal? Man.
Who plans on getting Aliens Dark Descent if you like that type of game?
Minutes? I can make him shut up for 5 years.
Just great. That 5-minute test turns out to be the longest 5 minutes of this guy's life as the film really moves into high gear. Obviously quirky and fast. Can't let the word get out that Corky's a nutcase. So Magic becomes a murderous, R-rated thriller as Corky tries to save himself, even half of himself. Anthony Hopkins is brilliant in the role of Corky. How tough it must have been to act with a 16-pound dummy the year's best movie. Well, not for my money, Dean. I kind of like the premise during the first hour as they set it up. This guy is schizophrenic, as dummy as the other half of his personality. But then the second hour just works that out. There aren't any surprises. I think there should have been some kind of a twist, maybe something supernatural. Roger, as long as the two of them are on camera, and I can see that, I can almost feel like the blood flowing between this guy and his dummy and his arm. If this guy can make a piece of wood come alive, I can't help but watch. I have to agree with you, but that I think the credit there goes to Anthony Hopkins. It's a great performance. Richard Attenborough does a good job of directing the picture. I like Burgess Meredith. I thought the general level of the picture was so high that the last half hour just let me down. I wanted something more to happen. I don't think the screenplay does justice to the talent of the people. We're getting pictures that we like, but then they dribble off at the end. Well, that's an example of the next picture, I think, which is good until the end. Sylvester Stallone will be remembered for the rest of his days as Rocky. Has a new movie out called Paradise Alley. The story of three Italian-American brothers showing up in the Hell's Kitchen in New York 30 years ago, trying to make it any way they can. Well,
Can't say I've played those.
just like Rocky, he knows he's going to be somebody someday. And here he tried out his line on a girl he wants to impress while he's walking her home at night.
Have you looked into the Aliens Dark Descent, Bruce?
Oh, stop, Cosmo. I'm too tired to laugh.
You're too tired to laugh? Why don't you lay down a minute? Wake you up from the moon and finish talking this deal.
When are you going to cut your hair?
My hair? Hey, listen, long hair from your brains.
And yours never stops.
Come on, it's my fortune. Listen, forget a band, look up and aggression, feathers, and red beads. I'll handle the paperwork and we smash every record in the country. Annual Sherlock and the Red Hot Dancing Yam Legs. I'm telling you, together we can't miss.
Sounds good.
Yeah. You know, it's nice to all the most red pigs off the street, isn't it? All the slobs going to bed. Nice. Well, think about working up an act, okay?
Absolutely.
Oh, you think, listen, you gotta see a doctor because your eyes need glasses.
Why?
Why? Why?
Yeah.
Because you keep missing my mouth all the time.
Good night, Cosmo.
That's Ann Archer. She's really great. Stallone keeps trying to play all the angles, trying to make some money. Now, here's a scene where he bets $100 on an arm wrestling contest between his kid brother and a tough neighborhood hoodlum. Guess what? Frankie here wants to have a friendly arm wrestling match. Nonsense. Who else you keep? Come on, let's go. We're getting it. I just bet $100 against that monkey. I ain't got a dime. Nothing but when these creeps gonna try to drag me in the alley and tie knots in my spine. Not that I can't handle it. I don't need the midnight exercise. Let's go. Forgive me. Ready? Oh. Hey, you know the word funk is a noun. Shut your hole. Pew. You know something? You rock you. Hey, Fitz, what do you say we get this happy contest rolling here? Come on, Vic. Come on, Victor. Hey, you let my brother free me to suck up all the good air. That's all. You better have that dough or you're going to be spending a lot of time doing a lot of healing.
Man. I know I play more games than I thought I have. I just can't remember some of them. Oh, wow. Oh, that reminds me. The Battlefield games, on the other hand. Let's see, the Battlefield games. The Battlefield games aren't just what they are. They aren't what they used to be anymore after 4.
No, this picture he created is a weird world. As you said, Paradise Alley is a gambling den and a wrestling pile underneath the building. It's exciting. It's expecting weird kind of finishing pictures. You know, cornball happy ending right out of Rocky. Rocky ended with a big fist fight. This is with a big wrestling match. Worse than Rocky doesn't work this. I think maybe Stallone has this idea that if you just give people a happy, big, exciting physical ending, that it's going to work all the time. The formula didn't work this time. The letdown. We care about these characters. We wanted to see what happens. Well, animated movies now are trying to make a comeback of time. This year,
Hey, Barry, I'm back for like 2 minutes. I'm just doing something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just messaging Ray, and then I just have to block somebody off this stream.
No big deal.
Yeah, he's upsetting everybody, so. And that's why
But,
my boyfriend had to go off. Yeah, I had to. I've got no choice. So he won't be moderated anymore. So just got
No
to
big
sort
deal.
something else out, and I'll be back. So, hey, Dre.
Hey, I'm here still.
Okay.
He's just
Let's
being a
chat
trash
away.
mouse sometimes.
Yeah, I'm just making sure my love's okay.
Yeah, I had to take my phone in the bedroom. That's where I was texting you from. I don't really smoke around Barry.
That's understandable.
But yeah, when it comes to Battlefield, though, the Battlefield games, their last good one that I had to say would be 4. Then it just kind of went off the rails a little bit.
Yeah.
What it really was.
Yeah.
But the best one out of all the Battlefields, in my opinion, was 2142. Because it was futuristic and it was actually fun.
Are we picking our comment winners and everything?
In a second.
Okay. And I'm just going to say right now that Master of All Movies, Presswood, in the comments, you did not win either of mine.
And neither mine.
Hubert, I've seen it, but never played it. Or I may have tried it, but didn't really, what you would say, draw my attention and keep it enough. But yeah, 2142 was futuristic. Is one of the reasons why it's had mechs. Everything was futuristic mechs. And there was a game mode that I loved the most. It wasn't Conquest. It was called Titan. Had basically 2 floating in the air destroyers that either side had to take out.
I'm honestly going to be blunt to that DVD collector person. Do not come into this stream and expect that you're going to just be handed the giveaways. No, that's not how this works.
I know.
It's all good.
I know. Passionate.
Yeah, and annoyed.
Hey, I'm back. Sorry. I'm just going to put my mic on quickly. Yeah.
Oh, you're good.
People shouldn't come on these streams and demand that they're going to win prizes. It doesn't work like this.
Yeah, I had to be blunt. That's not how this works.
It doesn't work like that at all. Like, but me and Dre, we've had to. I've had to personally just sort out a situation, and I'm done with Brent. I'm done with Brent, and I'm not answering any other comments tonight. I'm dealing.
Yeah, that situation was just too much.
I'm dealing with Luis right now. He needs me, and that's all that matters. And he gets both my stuff, both mine.
And he gets one from me too, and so does Chris.
Yeah. So Barry, what's
and
yours?
Barry, why don't you pick as well? One for a comment, one for a list. In here. Like, who do you think had the best list? Luis, Sean 420.
Let's go back. Quite.
It's gonna be way up near the top.
Yep.
Okay, there's Mr. Bones.
And another one. There's another one. There's Sean's.
There's Chris's.
Yep.
Let's see, Luis is a little further down, I believe. Oh, slow down.
Did I go too far?
No, you're getting close. This was before I went outside. There it is.
No.
And his other ones were right there. The Jack and Daxter Fight Night Champions. Thinking Mr. Bones?
Yeah, I'm thinking Mr. Bones.
All right, Barry's list pick is Mr. Bones. Now, what do you think was the funniest comment?
Funniest comment? Let's see. That's further down. Where is it? Digging. So much fun.
Mr. Bones, I know you've got an eye on a Blu-ray that you want, so you can comment down below. I'm still dealing with Rainy Night Gamer.
Tell him if he needs somebody else to talk to, he can message me too.
I will do.
Okay, where is it? Oh, I forgot to answer. I forgot to answer that one. Is he still in here?
I think so.
You still in here, Rainy?
He's messaging me.
Okay.
Barry forgot to answer his question about the Predator game.
Just want to verify which one he's talking about. The PS4, so the Hunting Grounds.
That's the one.
It's like basically hunting grounds. It's good, but it's like any other game where you got one person versus versus four other people, like Friday the 13th game, or it's basically kind of like the Friday the 13th the game, where it's like one person versus four players, but the players can actually kill the predator, or the predator can kill them.
Okay, hold on. Skyla, do you see this in the comments? Go ahead, give up, because like I said, that's not how this works. You don't walk in here and expect giveaways to be handed to you. So go on. Bye-bye.
Now, where's that one joke that I saw? That was, where is it? Da, da, da. It's here somewhere.
I saw it. It's sorted now. That's what she thinks.
Good, give up. Because like I said, that's not how this works. Giveaways aren't just handed to you in this stream. So bye-bye. Be gone.
Yeah.
If you don't like the way we do things, go find another stream where they'll just give you shit.
Yeah.
Without earning it.
Yeah.
Maybe if you'd have posted a list to what we were talking about, or a comment that actually made us laugh, you'd have won something now, wouldn't you? Now you got me pissed. Now I'm pissed.
Yeah, Mr. Bones, this is the one that you had your eye on. The prey.
You know what, Skyla? Ban her ass too.
I did.
Where is it? I swear it's here somewhere. Man, oh man, oh man.
And I've blocked Brent as well.
Good.
I had to. No one's disrespecting my man and getting away with it.
And like the shit I was telling you in our messages just a few minutes ago.
Exactly. So hang on, let me change my banner.
Yeah, I can't really think of one that actually made me laugh, but something's
or one that just stood out to you. Didn't have
stood
to
out.
make me laugh.
I would have to say this one stood out for me.
Bruce Wayne's comment about the voice of Garfield.
The rumor about Bill Murray getting Lorenzo music fired from the real Ghostbusters because the Bankman sounded too much like Garfield. Frankly, I can care less.
Yeah.
But if it is true, hey, you know what, Bill? I think it was perfect. So the guy that got after it, it was okay, but it wasn't better than Lorenzo's.
Yeah. I'm happy with everything on here, so yeah. So I'm happy with the winners tonight, despite everything that's gone on. So obviously, Bruce, Wayne and Mr. Bones won from Barry. From Andre, it was Chris and Luis. And then me, double whammy, Luis. I can't. And at the end of the day, if people don't like the fact that I'm always going to be biased, he's the one that's always going to give me the best comments.
Even for me, his list was just too good.
His list was the best?
I thought so, at least to me.
I loved this list.
Mr. Bones had a good one too, but his really stood out.
Yeah. Only because they're games that I really want to play with him.
Like I said, I like that type of stuff too.
No, we ought to do one these days.
Huh.
Just on a stream, just play Cards Against Humanity.
Oh God, yes.
Just one stream, just for the hell of it. Just play Cards Against Humanity. See where everyone's rabbit hole goes. This one knows how far my rabbit hole goes. Almost it's pretty much an abyss.
And I do still have all them Cards Against Humanity files on my Google Drive.
Yeah, we can do that.
I know that. I have been for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, like I said, that we'll plan that out. You will definitely be seeing more of Barry. That's a promise.
Yeah. So
certain subjects I will.
I hope you don't mind. I'm going to get off. I'm going to end the stream, okay? I hope you don't mind that.
No, it's all right.
All right, and I will speak to you guys soon.
All
So
righty.
Bye.
Peace.
Later.